Hey everybody, welcome back to City Skylines 2. Today, we're going to take a look at our new high density buildings. We're going to get some extra stuff in place there. We're going to expand the city a little bit over in this area. We're going to make an extension of this neighborhood over here. We're going to expand the industry area, which is already happening actually. We're going in and expanding industry over here. And we're very close to level 9. And that is going to get us some new milestones. It's going to allow us to get in and get high density, businesses and stuff. So we're gonna take a look at that too. Before we get really into it though, we need to fix traffic over here. This is kind of getting jammed up. A lot of these cars are waiting a long time to turn left and everything, and I want to fix it. So over here, this light is stopping people from turning right onto this highway. And I think there's merit in making this a big roundabout. I've already expanded this road, so it's an asymmetrical 7-lane road with 4 lanes on the exit side. And there's our great town. What I want to do here to help this traffic even further, because it's getting all messed up, is we're just going to go ahead and get a bigger roundabout right here. And this is going to let people turn and get on the highway a little bit faster. I think that's going to work out really well for helping people out there. And then I wish I had more control over the lights and everything. I'd make this light just a little bit different on timing. But the thing is, I can also just get them to go this way, which would be faster than waiting in line over here. I've had people waiting in line over here, wanting to go this direction and not wanting to go this way. It's a little bit weird. So I'm giving them plenty of different directions to go, and I'm hoping that they kind of level themselves out. But I think that roundabout will help us a lot with that. So for industry zoning over here, I've used walking paths to govern where they can build. And so they are now doing that, and I can go in and delete all of these walking paths now. They don't need to exist anymore in these areas, and the zoning is kind of going to be off the right roads that I want them to be on. So we're just going to go ahead and hit this. Just kind of clear these out of here. And now the industry area will expand as it wants to. But it's adding additional cars, which is a big problem. And it looks to me like these guys are complaining about not having power. Oh, just temporarily though. Weird. Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was trying to get its power from the walking path, and it just it had to readjust itself, I guess, perhaps. These here are saying that they're already condemned. Condemned before they were even built. Isn't that weird? Let's take a really quick look at the utilities, because there are definitely utilities running here. So we shouldn't have any issues there. The only issues that we might have, I guess, would have to do with our power, right? We are still exporting electricity. So we're producing 109 megawatts. We're consuming 85, and then we're only exporting 302, which that does not add to this. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's okay. Okay. Another thing I think I need over here, because the road conditions keep being a little bit poor, is a road maintenance depot. So I went ahead and did that. I've added the road maintenance depot right here, and they should help to maintain these roads since they're being used by big heavy vehicles a lot. It should have something local over here, so we're going to do that. Okay, so with Great Town, we can zoom out a little bit. I want to see what the natural resources are. So with Great Town, we can get access to these tiles here so that we can have those natural resources. We actually don't need any wood, so I'm not in a hurry to go over there, but it would be nice to start farming this area potentially. So I'm going to grab these 2 tiles too, so we can at least get in there and do that. Over here, we're going to want to get these 2 tiles here. And then also we're going to be expanding the town over here today, I think. So I'm going to grab these 2 tiles as well. I'd like to get some oil hooked up to my city, and also get on the other side of the freeway as well to help develop this. So we're going to grab these tiles as well. So this gives me all the oil I'd need. And then I think to help with my highway expansion plans that I'm going to be doing here today, we're going to go and get this tile just so it's out of my way. Okay, so I think that's all the tiles that I really need or really want. We're going to look into the high density commercial today. But before we get into that though, I want to make this just a little bit more car friendly because it's a little bit narrow. I don't particularly like just how everything is flowing pretty slowly here. So as we get more cars heading this direction, this is getting used a lot. And you can see the road maintenance depot vehicles. They kind of stop traffic as they're developing as well, which is a little weird. So I'm going to pause this really quick. And we're going to go over and we're going to delete this, which is, of course, going to delete the need for all these cars to do that. Let's have it stop right there. It's fine. So on this side, I want to give even more room for people to go out and merge. So we're going to go into the highway tool and we're going to make this part here a 4-lane. Okay. And it's going to be then a 3-lane to get to here. And then it will be a 3-lane all the way out to here. And then eventually it goes to 2-lane there to get to the bridge. So people have lots of room to merge over. Okay. And this is going to be where we try to connect this new on-ramp. Is going to be on the 4-lane area. So I'm going to go out one more, I think. Does it need to be one more? Yeah, like right about here, I think would be okay as far as the merger goes. I'd be all right with that. And then I want to go 3-lane here and here. Okay. So from this, we don't have a whole lot of traffic going this direction, which is why I'm not really bothering to like expand this road. It's only getting expanded on this side because most traffic goes that direction. Okay, so with that being done, these guys are all just going to vanish and disappear, so I don't have to look at them anymore. We're going to go into the highway tool, and I'm going to expand this. I want to adjust this. I'm looking at this right now. I want to adjust this. I want this to be a 3-lane. Okay. So on this side, we're going to make a 3-lane highway. It kind of does this. And then this is going to be a 2-lane. Okay. So I think we're on a better track here now. So this will be a 2-lane. And it's just going to let more cars merge onto the freeway on this direction because all the cars are going that way. So now we've got 3, and then you can go that direction, or you're going to stay in these 2 lanes and you'll go this direction. So now that this is a 4-lane, it means that the merger here can actually be 2 lanes wide. So we're going to have this raised up a little bit. I'm going to go to continuous, circle, whatever this mode is here, continuous, endless series of bends, right? And I just want to see if there is a merging angle here that looks natural. So like if I was to go about like this, for example, would this look, I kind of like that right about here. So this gives me 2 lanes merging in and they stay, right? They have room to get over. So this side will end and then they have more time to get over. And then this side will end. And then it's 2 lanes up the bridge. All right, seems good. That should hopefully open us up to a lot more capacity on getting onto the highway. On this side, we're expanding out to 3 lanes here because, of course, this is where the off-ramp is. So we're going to want to probably take this a little bit further, actually. One more out would be better. I think look better anyway. And then from here, we're going to take this endless curve. I guess we could do the endless mode again. And we're going to start at about, I think, here. And we're going to have it come off of the highway like this. It'll wrap around like this, seems okay. And then it'll raise up from there. I was kind of hoping to make that a little bit more gentle. Maybe we'll go shorter on this side to make that happen. So we'll say we'll go shorter here. Right about like here instead. Okay. And then from there. Yeah, and then we're going to raise that up from that point. That looks better. Or at least it will once it's placed. So right up next to this, about there. And then it's going to curve. Kind of want it to stay roughly the same curve as the rest of this. There we go. Like that. So that's our new on-ramp system, which I think is a good improvement. I don't like this though. I think this can go. We can redo this part. So this part here, to redo it, we're going to just get a little bit of flattening going on. We're going to say maybe about like this. And we'll just flatten this out a little bit more on this side. And then I think we'll also bring it right up to the road. Seems like a good idea. So we'll bring it right out to about like this. Right? That seems better. And then we'll try it again from this point. So bring this road down. And we're gonna go out like this. And then over like that. That looks way better than it did before. And then we'll just go ahead and soften this up. Make it look a lot more natural. All right, sweet. I don't know if I like that a little bit there, but that's like part of the bridge kind of thing. Like it's sort of, yeah. It's kind of coming up like this. I don't know if I like that either. It's like a raised highway. Let's maybe do something about that too. We could say that we could maybe flatten this up or just pick it up. Maybe we will just pick up the terrain a little bit here. Let's bring the strength of this way down. Ooh, it won't let me do it. That's peculiar. Huh. Weird. I can't pick up the terrain here. Really? There it goes. That was interesting. So we'll go about this far. And then let's make this flat. Yeah, see this, that went up too far. So we'll actually make it flat with this side instead. Bring this down. You know, it's still gonna look weird. Maybe we can avoid it looking really weird. You know? It's about here. I mean, it's better, but it's not the greatest. But I like how it's just better. So we'll play it as it, like that. And then we'll just go ahead and smooth it out from there. And everything looks a little bit tamer in this area now. It doesn't look quite so ridiculous anymore. So I like it. All right, so we've increased the capacity of vehicles that can get out of the industry area and get onto the highway, which is great. Over here, I'm just gonna really quick put in a couple extra roads on this side just to kind of expand what our industry area will, get into here. And then I think from there, because a lot of these are gonna go off this direction, which they'll stop in to the cargo yard to get the train. The train, how is the train doing? I haven't even looked at it yet. So this one is bringing in 190 tons of stuff, timber and chemicals into this area. It would be good to start shipping like wood and stuff into this area via train instead of you relying on trucks and stuff too. We could get a train station over in this area to haul all of these goods and have them hauled over onto the train network. But we'd want to go in from this side because the trains need to be able to get into this this yard right here. And they can't approach it from this side and get in there unless I do some sort of like big... Well, I mean, I guess they could go through here. This could serve as a through station too, right? So we could see them maybe coming in this side and then whipping through here. I did say I was going to remake these rails though, so I'm sure we can make that look a lot better. Either way, these trains that are leaving my cargo station are not really shipping anything. We're importing from this, not exporting. And that's a little bit weird. We have semi trucks and stuff using this. There's 16 vehicles in use here, and there's a lot of stuff in storage, but I'm not seeing the vehicle in storage actually ship anything out. They're not sending anything out of the city. So this is just getting more full, and I don't know what to do about it. I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know exactly how, like, what the criteria is for these cargo yards to actually send things out of the city, but they don't seem to be doing that. So the only thing I can think of is that this is for domestic use only, in which case you still have a lot of resources in here. Pharmaceuticals, plastics, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, you could use the plastics to generate products. I'm hoping anyway. Metal ore. That makes sense to import since I can't make it myself. But there's things like, furniture. And all that kind of stuff is stuff that I would think anyway the game would send out. But it's probably trying to send to commercial, and we don't have a way to get it here without trucks. So potentially what this is the trucks are picking it up from here, right, and sending it out, and they're, you know, via the roadways, and that's a little bit less efficient than bringing it in with a cargo train. So getting a cargo train, I still want it to be kind of over here. I don't really want it to be super close to the city, so I'm thinking my cargo train station will probably be right about here in this area. And at that point, we could also get that connected to a port, like a dock or something. I could widen this out and maybe get some boats over here. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, we have 17 points for Great Town, and this allows us to do the high density commercial buildings, so we're going to do that today. I also want to get a recycling center up because it looks like it says income for the city. I like income. We're going to grab university because I'd like to take a look and see what that's all about. And then I want to do police headquarters so I can keep crime under control. And then the central bank here, it says that houses stock and resource traders, as well as financial advisors and loan officers whose combined work lowers loan interest, which doesn't affect me, reduces the price of imported resources, and increases export profits. All of those things sounds fantastic. We're going to get that too. Okay, so let's start by placing a central bank, because the downtown area seems like a good place for a central bank, although I think it'll probably be over on this side. All of this from about where my mouse is, this big thick boy road here, you know, the main road here. So everything from about from this side of the road over towards probably the whole, like the train tracks. All of this is supposed to be like a higher density metro area. Okay. And then everything else around it is where you get your medium to low density and all that stuff, right? So suburbs and stuff. But this whole area here with the water is where I want this stuff to be. I've already expanded this road. I've made it an asymmetrical 5-lane. And I'm going to leave enough room on this side so that I can upgrade it to a 6-lane if I need to, but I don't think I will. The maintenance on that road is the exact same cost, so it's possible we just will anyway because it'll look better, but we'll see. Speaking of looking better, I've got the median here with grass, and I've made trees for it so that people are encouraged to use the parking lots instead. And I would love it if I could get a parking lot to go underneath the train track, but I don't think it'll let me do that. It will let me do that. It will let me do that. It is pretty cool to do that. I have to be cautious about the trains, but the thing is, like, I feel like I don't even need this track, and I could actually have this be like just coming in from this side only, and that would allow me to use this area for zoning. So since I already have these 4 tracks connected to this bridge, I think I'm going to say that this track on this side doesn't continue through, and by doing that, it allows me to use this area a little bit better. So I'm going to try that actually. So we're just going to say we're not going to use that. So on this side, we can go ahead and do, let's do high density housing. Let's say in these 2 spots here, let's say, we want it to be like a 5 wide or something, right? How big are those buildings we just saw? This one here, right? How big is this? This is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like it's about 6 wide. If I want more of these, I need 6 wide at least. So we would say something like that gives me 1, right? And then once they start building that one, I can zone the next one. And then on this side, we'll put another parking lot so that we can have, ooh, what's that? It actually fits because it goes underneath. It's not bad. I think I'd rather have it be over here though. Yeah, another parking lot can be like right here. All right, so more parking for everybody so they don't have to be on the street. And these lots are going to be expensive. We're going to make these like, I'm going to say $22. And on this side right here, it's $20. Like, it's completely full, right? So I'm going to make it $30 and see if people are willing to pay that to park there. The other thing we can get in this area, and I think I'll probably utilize that over here because this is a little bit cramped, is we're going to be using the underground parking. So if we go over to our new developments, we can go underground parking buildings. And I only have 3 development points left. I thought I had more than that. So, okay, we'll wait. But I was going to get underground parking buildings and stuff too. It might be good to have a hospital in the future. I don't know. We'll see. What's our healthcare like right now? I mean, everything seems fine. On an individual road basis, it's not great. You know, because things are just really slow and everything around there. But we don't have hardly any coverage over here either, so we might want to take a look at that. But for the most part, the buildings and everything seem to be covered. The ambulances are having a hard time getting into these areas though, so they take a while to get to their destinations, which isn't necessarily all that great to have the hospital not be effective just because the ambulances can't get people there. But look, people are going to use this parking lot even though it costs that much, so now they can park down by the river, which is kind of cool. These houses will eventually go away, by the way. All right, so for this side, what we're going to do is we're going to add the library, and you can see we're about 64% full with the city college, which is good. It means it has capacity to go from here. We're going to add the library, which will add, what is this? It extends, provides students with better chances of graduating. We only have a 1% dropout rate, so I'm not really sure that's worth what I just did, but we'll see. We're also operating at 60% efficiency. And so what we're likely to find here is that this won't go any higher anyway. So I need to raise the budget for education to get more students here, I think. So let's raise this budget for education up to like, let's go like 88, 90%. And I think what we'll find now with the efficiency going up like this, I think we'll find that more students will join because our efficiency went up. Okay, so from this side, I think what I need to do in order to provide really good coverage here for really good grading and stuff, right, for high density commercial. So I think what I want to do is I want to sort of embrace the way the land is, right? I don't want to mess it up too much, so we're gonna have like a slight slope uphill still, but I need to have enough room at least for big buildings to even spawn to begin with. So we're gonna go in and kind of flatten this out a little bit here. And the whole goal is to kind of hide the fact that this is a different elevation. So we'll have really tall buildings in here that kind of allows us to have these buildings here at roughly the same height as the medium density / high density commercial that will be here until the commercial buildings get really high up. And then in which case it'll, you know, the college and stuff will still be lower, but it's not going to be so bad because it is on a hill. The college and stuff won't be so far lower, you know, than everything else. I think you'll see what I mean in a second. So let me just raise this terrain from here. All right, so about there, and then it goes this way and then over. So I want to have about like this, then out this way too. So I need to make this out a little bit more too. And because the road is different elevations depending on where you are, it's not going to be possible to have the whole thing level because the road itself is not level. But the hope is that the grade that we're at allows for buildings to look really natural. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So we're going to go in and do something like this now. I'm just going to kind of be a little bit gentler here with it, make it look all nice and even here. And by doing that, I'm hoping now we can see zoning is fairly, yeah, it's not super crazy anymore. So we'll go over and do high density business. I'm gonna put it right along the water first, and we're gonna see what they do. So what I'm hoping here, I'm hoping not to have really small buildings. I want them to not zone really small buildings if possible. So what I need to do is I wanted to find out how big some of these buildings are going to be. So this looks like a really nice size lot. Looks like it's like 6 by 6. So what I want to do first to really control how this is going to be, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. No, not that. We'll just do this for now. I'm hoping a 6 by 6 will spawn there. There we go. Now that spawned, we can go another 6 by 6 like this. And what I'm hoping is, again, it actually spawns nothing but 6 by 6s here so that I can control the size of these buildings and make them look the way I want them to look. Excellent. And then on this side, we'll do the same thing. It's going to be a 6 by 6 there. All right, so for now, we're going to have that be our medium density. You can see how much lower these commercial buildings are than these apartment buildings are. Like, these apartments are really, really tall. I'm hoping that maybe these things get upgraded in the future as they get more customers. That would be a good thing to see. And then let's go ahead and just make this look a little more natural too. We don't want this to be super crazy, so just a little more natural landscape here. Yeah, I mean, this obviously there's like a excuse me, there's like a cliff here, so it's not that great. But this is an underground parking lot. Sorry, an overground parking building, and we could say that because the overground parking building is like this, that it's yeah, it has a basement level too, and so like they can kind of go down underneath there as well. It's not really the case, but we could say that that was the way it is. Barely anyone is actually using this though, so it's a little bit kind of a waste at the moment. I'm hoping that once we get a more thriving commercial center in here, that would change, but at the moment it doesn't look like many people use it. On this side, I do eventually want this road to be upgraded, and what I'm hoping to do for this road, I'll have to move some parking lots and stuff, but what I'm hoping to do for this road is we're gonna have the trams coming through here too. So trams will end up being on this main road here, along this side here. It will go down, and it just kind of goes in this circle, right around this area. We'll also have some that go this way and tag up at a stop over here, this way and tag up at a stop over here, and then of course this way and tag up at a stop over here. So we'll end up having a stop, stop, stop on the outsides, and then there's a loop, and that will let trams and stuff move around this area as it goes. Let's expand let's speed up time here really quick. I also want to take a look at industries, and if I take a look at production, we have a deficit in a lot of things. So we're currently at a grain deficit. We want to take a look at that. We're not producing our own livestock at all, and that's the next thing to get going with. So livestock does not require any fertility, which is a really good thing because it means that we can place it pretty much anywhere, and I want to place it over here. So I'm looking at specialized industry, livestock farming, and we don't have any fertility in this area, so this is where we're going to place it. We're going to have this kind of line up to where it's right at the edge of where I can build, so I can use as much room as possible here. So we'll say right about here should be fine. That's one, right? And then we can bring this all the way out from there. So it starts on this side, of course, and so we're going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we want a straight line on this side actually to maximize the usage of the space. So we're gonna go, I think, all the way to where the road edge would be. So it'll go out here, I guess. It's not quite straight, but I think we can adjust it to make it so. So I can bring this over to 90 degree like that. All right. So we did it that way because we can now place another one of these. And let's go ahead and get just one of these roads here. Go straight that way with it, about like that. And then we'll go straight out this way. And I think what I should do here is upgrade this road. And actually just make this be... No, I think it'll be fine. I could be wrong. Will allow me the opportunity to be wrong here. Let's go out this way a little bit and then over into the road like that. So that hooks it up to the rest of the industry there too. All right, now on this side, what I want to do is have this road come all the way down like this side, and then all the way down here, and then maybe over like that. All right, so we're maximizing the space, right? We'll then do another one. You can see they're already starting to build things here, which is fantastic. We need livestock, so I don't know why the game spawns these in seemingly random locations though, but you can see the little cows. Pigs, cows. Looks like we got, what is it, goat? We got goats, we got sheep. Yep. I like how I can actually follow one of the sheep. Like, they didn't just render these in as random animals. I can actually follow each and every one of them. and got horses over here to help out on the farm. It's great. All right, so over here on the same, we're gonna do the same thing. We want another livestock farm, and we're gonna bring it up right about there. All right, and then we're gonna go all the way to the edge on this fence, and this fence will then get shared. I wanted to go all the way there, but I didn't place this close enough. I need to place it a little bit closer. So let's move. Can I not move it? It won't let me move it. Right here. We'll just do it again. It's fine. So I need it to be right. I think there is better. Nope, it didn't actually work. Yeah, it did that thing again where it doesn't actually appear where you clicked it. Right there. All right, now we go over to the fence, all the way up to the edge. There we go. And then it goes in a straight line to there, and then we start heading the angles and stuff like we did before into roughly the same shape. It doesn't have to be exact, of course, but roughly the same shape we had before. And then we'll just bring it all the way like that. Okay. And then the last thing to do there is to kind of just adjust it from there. So then we're going to come down like that, and then down like that. And also we want this to be a right angle. So we go 90 degrees. There you go. That's fine. All right, good. So there's our 2 livestock farms. And we have a lot of demand for these types of things. So we should see it hit our deficit. They're pretty good. So we'll take a look at this after a while. But we have agriculture, we import. At the moment, we're all imports on livestock, right? So that's going to hopefully get sorted out with agriculture. I would imagine this would hit our grain deficit even harder. So we're going to need even more on the grain fields, which is why we've got this land up here now. So we need to be able to work this area here too. And then the idea is like the grain is locally sourced. It can just go in here. I know it probably doesn't matter the way the game works it, but we're gonna pretend like it does. All right, so we're gonna say probably right about here would be the best place for this long term. Is to go about here with it, I think. So we'll say like that. And get a dairy house, delivering delectable dairy delights daily. Wow. Okay, fine. So we can't work much here, but as we get more land, we'll be able to work even more here. So at the moment, we're just going to place this where we can place it. And that's going to be down about like this, and then over like so, and then back up. And then this side here real quick, because it's winter now. Ooh, fancy. I have to take a look at that too. I haven't done anything with winter, so we'll see how that goes. I want this road to come all the way down, at least this far, right? So it needs to come down to, and let's make this a road that they can park on just to do it. All right, good. And then this country road here will head out to here, right about like that, and then down and connect like that. And then on this side, we adjust the farm to where it's out like this, just because we can. Not that it really gives us any more, but hey, maybe it will. Who knows? All right, good. So more grain can be made here. And again, with the winter time being here, I don't think that's really going to happen, but the livestock can still work, so that's good. Now, does the road maintenance buildings, are they responsible for plowing? Because from what I know about the game right now, roads do not get plowed. They just don't get any snow on them at all, and that's what's going on, right? Like the roads just don't get snow on them, so they don't need plowed. I'm pretty sure that's like an update coming, but it's just not something that's there yet. All right, so here's some bigger commercial buildings. Seems pretty good. I want to have even more bigger. Yeah, more bigger. That is technically proper grammar, I think, because I'm not actually saying more bigger. I'm saying I want more of the bigger ones. So I want more bigger commercial. I think that's still technically proper grammar. Anyway, we're going to lower the taxes down to 10% now to really entice them to come in here. And we'll just offset a little bit by raising some residential. And going to keep our budget in the green here. And then hopefully that will entice more businesses to come in here, because I want to have another one, a 6 by, yeah, right there. And then another one. Let's make it even. Now we'll just go with the 6. 6 will be right there too. So now we're leaving gaps in here between the buildings because it's a downhill slope and I don't want things to look really dumb, but we can add things in these gaps here that might make things look a little bit better as we get the buildings developed. So little things like plazas and stuff, we can add those things in, or I can add like an entrance to a subway or something right here when we have the subway up. So all those things are possible. In this area, I want to have more buildings back here as well. Like we need to get closer to the college with this too. And so I'm looking at, you know, this little slope area, thinking, hey, if I dig this in just a little bit more, you know, I could have buildings back here and just have this be like a dead drop sort of cliffside thing, which I realize is probably not a great thing to do, but we can make this look a little bit more natural. But I do want bigger buildings back here. So we're going to have another road from right here right along the street side like this. And then this road can go back behind these buildings. About like that. So that broke all these up, and I don't like that. I really don't like how it did that. Let's see if we can use walking paths to correct it. Because I like where the road is, but I don't... Yeah, like that. And then if we go like that, then I can correct it on this side. And then once we get the buildings building here, I can then redo this. Because I just want the buildings to be... Well, I wanted the buildings to be on this side, but it doesn't look like we're going to get them the size I'm looking for because of how close everything is back here. Yeah. Maybe this won't work quite as well as I imagined because of the size of the buildings. I could always make this building smaller and fit it in. Nah, I think it's fine. We could always put, you know, like a bigger park or something over here. Let's take a really quick look at this recycling center. Collects and sorts garbage to produce reusable materials, which are then sold further. This produces income for the city. Can be upgraded with a garbage truck depot, hazardous waste collection point, and an extended storage. So instead of the landfill, we could do one of these. Now this thing is $80,000 a month upkeep, but the hope is that it creates wealth for us too. It doesn't just cost us money; it's going to help us. I think that's the hope anyway. This has a medium noise pollution, and it also pollutes the ground and the air a little bit. So we definitely want to keep this away from everybody. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe over here somewhere could be okay. It's off the highway though, and this landfill is on the highway, which is really convenient. It can get over here and get there where it needs to go really quickly. And so maybe off the highway is still better for this. Over near waste management, I guess, could still be a better place to go here. So why don't we put the recycling center? I have to change the way this is built to do that. Or I could just put it here, but then now we're spawning trucks like right on this road. So instead of spawning trucks directly on this road, why don't we all right, we can maybe spawn it on this road instead. I'd be okay with that. Let's upgrade this to be 4 lanes like this. And then we'll go ahead and put this recycling center here instead. Like here. Instead. They apparently don't like it, but whatever. We have a storage extension. So this can go on the back side. That seems like it will work just fine. Okay, good. We have the hazardous waste collection point, which can also go in the back. It looks like there's enough room for both of those things to exist, so that's nice. And then we have the truck depot, which is on the plot. Perfect. So it looks to me like if I place this here, so it's the left side is right on that yellow line. If that's the case, I cannot fit both of these. I won't be able to fit both extensions. So what we can do then, I guess, is we'll just delete this road. And then we'll go ahead and upgrade this one more time to here. And then now we can shift this over a little bit. We'll just move this facility over about like here. Yeah, and then let's level this ground around this point. So we'll just level it out so it all looks nice for those expansions later. And then we'll soften it into here to make it look all nice and even. So now when I go and expand this later, it'll work that way. And then I'll probably want more trucks. So let's just grab more trucks right now. And we'll see how well that works. Now, one other thing we could maybe do is, I was going to say, give this thing like a shortcut access point of its own. So if I was to go like, say, like this, for example, we could go like a one-way road directly from where this thing spawns trucks, which I think it's spawning them on this side, I want to say. I can't really tell. But if I did it off this side, it would probably still be fine. So if I go one way and go a one-way road, let's do the highway actually, one-way highway road from here, right, along this side, and then have it merge into here like that, right? The only problem with this is that these trucks, if they spawn here, they are gonna have to get over really quickly, which doesn't look like this that big of a deal. But I think it would be better if they had more time to merge. I know if it was me driving this, I would want more time to merge there. I think that's not nearly enough time. So we're gonna redo that a little bit. We'll have it go this way first. And then we'll have it come back this direction from there. Like that. That looks pretty standard, actually. And of course, because it's City Skylines, they're going to merge at the very last minute anyway. So it doesn't matter how much room I give them, but it's just whatever looks natural. All right, good. All right, so it was snowing, and now it's just a rainy December. I want to see, I really want to get extra buildings in this backside here. This is supposed to be a bit more dense than this. So I really want to get more buildings here. And it's just about figuring out where this road can go to make that happen. I'm wondering if perhaps the narrow alleyway road here at this little intersection, if having this go right next to this building here and having it go right up against the university on this side, if this would give me enough room to make buildings back here. Right, so like this little road here, I know it looks really weird, but it doesn't really disrupt how big these buildings can be, but it also allows me to place extra buildings back here. That's what I'm looking for, is something like that. Perfect. Something like that would be great. All right, so extra commercial buildings back here is good. We're gonna want, of course, some higher density residential here as well. And that's happening over on this side. And we can place another 6x or whatever here. I may even make bigger ones. Let's just do this. Yeah, see, I don't want that. Well, this one is different. That's okay, but I don't want like, see how there's a little bit of difference to them, right? I don't want them to all be the same building, so maybe I'll let them build that how they want. But I think this one needs to go, and it gets replaced by a bigger one is still better. If we can get that one replaced by a bigger one. I hope anyway. We can also get this one, and then if we delete you, you'll spawn bigger ones, hopefully. No? Not going to spawn bigger ones, huh? How tall are you? What are you? You can hold 108. I just don't see the... I don't see the crane because I think there's already one there. Well, we'll see how it pans out. These are all high density buildings, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the final thing I wanted to do in this little area here is, you see how there's this bridge that goes across the road? This bridge is not final. It's not going to go this way. I want it to run parallel to the rail. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to take this away, And what I'm hoping to do is to make a big ass bridge. You can see how this is the 6-lane divided road, right? So what I want to do here is we're going to lift this up, and I want to get this road to go over top in a straight line in this direction. All right. And we're going to use this maybe 8-lane divided cable here. Big, thick sort of bridge. And I kind of want this to be higher, I think. It's not quite high enough for me. But the problem is that I don't exactly know how high I have to go. I want to go only as high as I have to go here to allow ships to go underneath it, but I really don't know what that requirement is. So if I go a little higher now, hold on, let me just try to get, well, come on, game, let me connect to this road. There we go. So if I go up higher, let's say to 30, now 5% grade's not that big of a deal. And so now we're 30 up. I want 2, yep. And then we go about like this. Is this high enough? It's certainly not parallel to the rail, but you see what I'm trying to go for here. And I think I can adjust it to where it is parallel to the rail, but it didn't work because it wasn't actually connected to this. So I need to redo this. So let's go to 6-lane divided road, bring this down to ground level. And we're going to try this again. This time we're going to rise up to 30 right away. And this is an 8% grade. So something like that. Right? That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So we go to this bridge. 180 degrees off the other road. Is this distance too short? Oh, because it's because it's adding a third one. I don't want it to do that. So right about here. That seems fine. And then we switch back to our 6-lane divided road, and we bring it down to the ground about here. So something like that. Now, the one thing I hate about bridges in this game is that they just appear to let them float. You know, like there's nothing in the ground holding that stable. Like you look over here, it looks really silly. There's nothing hitting into the ground here to hold that bridge up. Like that thing is going to crumble. So one thing we can do is with the road tool selected, we can hover over the road and we can place these things where we want them. So I can place one here, for example, by clicking, and it'll give it a look, and it kind of adjusts its angle slightly too. And then we can come over and do the same thing pretty much anywhere. So like I could do it here, right there if I wanted to, or in here, kind of, but I'd have to move the houses and stuff, but I could do it in here. So if I move these houses, which I should be doing anyway, at least right below it, I should be able to now go over and place one of these. At least I'm kind of hoping it will let me. Not quite. It's gonna have to be maybe there, and then it's just not quite, you know, it's just not quite letting me, but it's fine. So this gives us an 8-lane road on this side, and then I want one more. Get right there. Good. All right, so that looks a lot better than it did. If I can get one right here, that'd be even better. Perfect. It looks a lot better than it did. I still don't like this, but I think it's fine. We're gonna leave these buildings out of here because there's no way anyone would want to build there, but we can replace this area with a parking lot instead. So we'll go ahead and grab this and change this area to parking underneath it. Something like that would be okay. People will be able to park there now. Okay, so on this side, we're going to level this road. or level this ground to where it's level with this road, at least for a little while anyway, so I can like sort of get ready for my expansion on this side by like pre-grading this, I guess you could say, if that's such a thing to say. And we'll go ahead and change this road. It's still 6-lane divided, and we want it to be, yep, like that. All right, and then it can go right along the rail, honestly, right along the rail like that. Now we have a bit of a terrain issue, and you can see how really terribly wobbly, horribly wobbly this is. It looks disgusting, doesn't it? It really does. But perhaps we could go from like here to there. If we do it in more of a straight line, maybe it would work. I don't think it will. I think it's going to look terrible the whole time. I think we need to grade that slope a little bit better. So let's go in and soften real quick. I think the slope tool is what we want, though. From here to there, we want a gradual slope. Brings us up to that side, right? So we'll go to like 100% here. Let's click like, say, that point, and we'll have this go from there, and we'll have it lift up. A nice gradual slope up to that side. All right, so just right click and then, and hopefully that, nope, I need to do this, not the soften tool, the slope. I'm trying to figure out why it's not doing what I want. There we go. Nice gradual slope up to that point is what I'm hoping for. There we go. That's much better. And then we just, you know, add our own little characteristics to it as we need. But this road will now look way better than it did before. So we'll go up 180 degrees-ish to about here. There. It'll look way better than it did before. This part here is still a little bit of a whoop, but it's kind of transitioning from the bridge, so I think that's probably okay. And then from this point, we can then grade this appropriately how we want. But the road does need to go underneath here, and then I need to do a whole lot more flattening and everything in this side to make this actually work for a city, because at the moment it's so slopey here. Like there's so much terrain changes that need to be made in this area that it is going to be very difficult to work this area. So we need to do something like this, where we just kind of pulverize this slope, try to flatten it out to make it workable for us, right? Make this area workable. And of course it's gonna affect that, but it's okay. So I kind of do a little bit like this, and I'm hoping that this grade is now a little bit more respectable, so that when I look at the zoning, it's not too bad, and I can then move this way with it. But that's something I can do offline. I can do the terrain stuff offline. It's fine. I don't need to do that on video. Okay, so I think I got pretty much everything I wanted to start, at least today. Definitely wanted to have more of this higher density commercial stuff going and have it done right off of this road was the intention. But I think because now we have that bridge, we have an idea of sort of where these roads are and how they all connect together. I think probably what will happen is there'll be a lot of people turning left here to try to get into this area, because now they can't do it from the main road. And that's kind of a problem. So I need to kind of come up with a solution to that too. What I think will be the solution in this case is the bus depot is going to get moved. And we're going to get this out of here and probably move it to be maybe over in this area a bit more, or closer to the highway, like over here. And that way we can then develop this land a little bit better, because there's definitely some better usages for this land. And then we can have this road kind of serve a little bit better there too. I think upgrading this, well, this is already upgraded. Yeah, it's already a 2x2 or a 4-lane road. Sorry. So it's already a 4-lane road. And then this side here, we could make also the 4-lane road from here too, just so now the traffic can come from this side and work their way around to get in here if they need to as well. So crime scene. Crime has been committed here. we will get police to get in there because there are police in the city. They just need to get over here. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this video here. We're at about an hour, but we've got a lot done today. I think we expanded this over here. We made this a little bit more fluid. I like that. We've added a recycling center, which I have no idea if it's actually going to work as far as like getting us money goes. So that would be something to look into as far as like how our services and stuff are working. My garbage management is at a really low efficiency, so I can maybe raise the budget on that because I have the budget to do that. So we have a very green budget, so we definitely can afford to do that. We have office demand now. That's fun. And I have demand for like all sorts of things right now. So we definitely want to get in there and do that. I'm really hoping that the high rent, I think high rent for industrial buildings is kind of silly, but it's because the demand is so high. If you let the demand get way out of control, then what ends up happening is that all the rent on everything goes up because you can afford to charge it. You have more people who are potential customers, and so you can afford to charge higher rent because if that person doesn't want to pay, then there's always someone available that will pay that. And so you want to kind of get your demands to be lower to help the rent situation. With everything aside from real estate, just adding more zoning for that should fix the problem. I think in this game, the real estate will still be, I think real estate is still supply and demand oriented in this game. But in real life, real estate's a little bit more complicated than supply and demand. You'd think if you build more homes that it'll make all the other homes cheaper, and that is not the case. But that's another topic for another day. So I'm gonna go over like that, and I think maybe we'll connect this up because we can. And I'll add more industry because we have a high demand for it, and maybe that will help them to not be so demanding right now. We'll see. I'll bring this all the way down like this too. All right. I'm going to leave it here though, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you'll join me for the next one. Bye-bye.